Have you ever said something, and the very second it left your mouth, you wished you could reach out and grab it back? The sharp reply to your spouse. The joke that cut deeper than you meant. The comment you would give anything to delete. And later that night, you replay it, again and again, wincing every single time. You lie there thinking, I'm a believer. I love Jesus. So why can't I control the one part of my body I use the most? James chapter 1, verse 26 puts it bluntly. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, his religion is worthless. That's heavy. But here's the good news. God never exposes a wound without offering the cure. So today I'm walking you through 9 biblical steps to control your tongue. Steps that actually work in real life. And listen carefully. Step 7 will flip this entire battle upside down, because it isn't about your mouth at all. Stay until the end for that one. Welcome to Deeper Faith, where we go beyond the surface, one truth at a time. Before the steps, you need to see what's at stake. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21 says death and life are in the power of the tongue. Not annoyance and pleasantness. Death and life. Your words don't just describe your world, they shape it. James chapter 3, verse 6 calls the tongue a fire, a tiny spark with the power to set a whole forest ablaze. One careless sentence can burn down a friendship that took 10 years to build. Think of it like toothpaste. Squeezing the tube is easy. Effortless, even. But have you ever tried putting toothpaste back in? You can apologize, you can explain, you can soften it, but you cannot unsay a word. And Jesus raised the stakes even higher. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 says we will give account for every idle word we speak. Every idle word. Not just the cruel ones. Even the careless ones we never thought twice about. So this isn't a side issue for super spiritual believers. This is the front line of your faith. Step 1. Pause before you speak. James chapter 1, verse 19 gives you the formula. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Notice the order. Listening comes first. Speaking comes second. Anger comes last, if it comes at all. When Jesus stood before his accusers, he often gave them something more powerful than an argument. Silence. He spoke when it mattered, and only when it mattered. Your flesh wants to fire back instantly. But how many arguments would simply die inside a 3-second pause? Not slow thinking, slow speaking. Count to 3. Breathe. Then decide whether those words deserve to exist. Step 2. Run your words through 3 gates. Before a sentence leaves you, ask, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 sets the standard. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only what builds up and gives grace to those who hear. Grace to those who hear. That's the test. Not, is it clever? Not, well, I feel better saying it. You already do this with texts. You type the angry message, you stare at it, and you delete it before hitting send. Your mouth needs that same draft folder. If a sentence can't pass all 3 gates, it never gets sent. Step 3. Pray before the conversations you're dreading. David knew his mouth needed backup, serious backup. So he prayed in Psalm chapter 141, verse 3. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. David didn't say, I'll guard my own mouth. He asked God to station a soldier at his lips. That's humility and strategy. Nehemiah did the same. In Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 4, when the king asked him a dangerous question, he prayed to the God of heaven. Then he answered. Prayer first, word second. A silent flare shot up to heaven in the space of a single heartbeat. You know the conversation I mean, don't you? That meeting, that phone call, that dinner with the relative who pushes every button. Pray for your mouth before you walk in. Step 4. Replace complaining with gratitude. Philippians chapter 2, verse 14 is short and sharp. Do everything without grumbling or arguing. Everything. Not most things. Not everything except traffic, deadlines, and Mondays. Everything. Israel learned this the hard way. An entire generation grumbled its way through the wilderness and grumbled itself out of the promised land. Complaining is rehearsing what's wrong. Gratitude is rehearsing what's grace. Whichever one you practice, your tongue will perform. So what if you caught yourself mid-complaint and flipped it? This traffic becomes, Lord, thank you that I have somewhere to go. Quick pause. If somebody's face just came to mind, a conversation you need God's help with, tap that like button and drop this one prayer in the comments. Lord, guard my mouth. Say it as you type it. Then share this video with someone who's fighting to keep peace in their home this week. And make sure you subscribe to Deeper Faith for more truth that goes deeper than Sunday. Now here's where this gets uncomfortable, because the next step isn't about what you say. It's about what you listen to. Step 5. Starve the gossip fire. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 20 says where there is no wood, the fire goes out. Where there is no gossip, quarreling ceases. Gossip cannot survive without fuel. Every time you receive it, repeat it, or reward it with wide eyes, you're throwing logs on the flame. So what do you do when gossip lands in your lap? You don't have to rebuke anyone. Just stop feeding it. Change the subject. Say something kind about the person being roasted. And watch the fire starve, quietly, quickly, without a single argument. Step 6. Learn the power of silence. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 28 says even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. Think about Job's friends. Their best week was their first week, 7 days sitting beside him without saying a single word. The moment they opened their mouths, they started wounding him. Their silence comforted. Their sermons crushed. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not losing. Silence is often the loudest act of trust in God you can make. When was the last time silence was your strategy? You don't need the last word. You need the right word, or none at all. Step 7. Slow down for this one, because this is the step that changes everything. Are you ready? Stop trying to tame your tongue. I know that sounds like the opposite of this entire video. It's not. James chapter 3, verse 8 says something shocking. No human being can tame the tongue. No human being. Not one. So if you've been failing at this for years, hear me. That's not proof you're a terrible Christian. That's proof James was right. Willpower was never going to be enough. Here's the truth underneath it all. Jesus said in Luke chapter 6, verse 45, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Your tongue isn't the problem, it's the gauge. When the warning light flashes on your dashboard, you don't smash the light. You open the hood, because the light only reports what's happening in the engine. Harsh words are the warning light. Your heart is the engine. So stop fighting the symptom, and start bringing God the source. Every morning, before the day squeezes you. Isaiah knew this. In Isaiah chapter 6, verse 5 he cried, I am a man of unclean lips, and God didn't hand him a technique. He touched his lips with holy fire. Not self-control alone, but spirit control. Not a managed mouth, but a transformed heart. Fill your heart with the right things, and the right words start spilling out on their own. Step 8. Speak life on purpose. Controlling your tongue isn't only about what you stop saying. It's about what you start saying. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18 draws the line. Reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Your mouth is a weapon either way. The only question is, which direction is yours drawn, against people or for them? Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24 says gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Your words can strengthen an actual human body. Think of Barnabas. His very name means son of encouragement, and his encouragement gave the church a man named Paul. So set a daily quota, one intentional word of life, a text, a compliment, a blessing spoken over your kids before school. Step 9. Repair fast when you fail. And you will fail sometimes. This side of heaven, everyone does. So what separates a growing believer from a stuck one? Not a perfect record. Repair speed. Peter knew this. The same mouth that denied Jesus 3 times was restored over breakfast on a beach, and later preached at Pentecost. 1 John chapter 1, verse 9 promises that if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us and cleanse us. So apologize quickly, to God, and to the person you wounded. Don't let pride turn a bad moment into a broken relationship. Your worst sentence is not your final sentence. God's grace is greater than your worst word, and he is still writing your story. So where do you start? Not with all 9 steps at once. Start small. Start tomorrow morning. Before you check your phone, before you speak a single word, pray one sentence. Lord, set a guard over my mouth today. That's it. One prayer, one morning, one guarded mouth at a time. Then pick your hardest conversation of the day and walk into it carrying the 3 gates: true, kind, necessary. Small obedience, repeated daily, becomes transformation. That's how God works, seed by seed, word by word. So here's your battle plan. Pause before you speak. Filter every word through the gates. Pray before hard conversations. Trade complaining for gratitude. Starve the gossip fire. Master the power of silence. Let God transform the heart behind the mouth. Speak life on purpose. And when you fail, repair fast, because grace moves faster. And that's the answer I promised you at the start. Step 7 was never about your mouth. It was about your heart, and your heart is exactly what God is after. So if you remember only one line from today, remember this: God isn't after a tamed tongue. He's after a transformed heart. Because when he truly has your heart, your words stop being your greatest regret, and they start becoming someone else's greatest gift. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. That's Psalm chapter 19, verse 14. The prayer of a guarded tongue. If this spoke to you, type that prayer in the comments one more time. Lord, guard my mouth. And subscribe to Deeper Faith, so your faith never has to stay shallow. May God set a guard over your mouth, fill your heart with His word, and make your tongue a tree of life for everyone around you. God bless you.